Okay, this is, just so we can have a talk. This is the paper of Bassist. And it's called Beyond the Ba, right? So Nonaka wrote about Ba in 1998, along with Toyama. I'm not really sure. But the thing is, we wanted to know what happened to the concept of Ba since 1998, or enabling context. How has it been used? Or what happened after 10 years of that, 10 or 12 years of that concept? So we try to work on a huge database, and we use concept maps for doing that. So the thing is, we looked first at the Web of Science database, and we were using Nonaka and Ba as descriptors, and we used citation analysis and the age index. So we found the second generation papers. Okay, so we extracted the descriptors of the second generation papers, and then we were looking for those descriptors in any kind of resources that U of T had. And then we looked at all the journals that had knowledge and management in their titles. I found an interesting one, the Universal Journal of Knowledge Management. You heard of this? I've never heard of this before. We used Google Scholar and other methods, and we selected 135 papers, 4 dissertations, and 4 different books that were not previously published as journal articles about Ba. And the thing is, we did a lot of work to try to understand what they were talking about. And through this work, we could identify that Ba, or enabling context, is made out of 4 different groups of enabling conditions. So we named them social behavioral, that it has to do with norms and values that guide relationships and interactions. So care, trust, leniency in judgment, empathy, tolerance to honest mistakes. So this is the goal of Embrapa right now, to work on its social behavioral issues towards managing knowledge. Then we have the information and communication group of enabling conditions, meaning that we need information and communication tools, systems and applications. The third group of enabling conditions we call cognitive epistemic, meaning that we need common knowledge and shared epistemic values and commitments. So the thing is, exposure to a great variety of data, insights, questions, ideas, and problems. Existence of a sound mix of people with diverse perspectives, backgrounds, mental models, and functional areas. And finally, the fourth group of enabling condition we call business managerial, because it had a lot to do with business processes. And we question structure. What kind of structure do we need? What kind of processes do we need? Can we link human resources management and learning to metrics, leadership, and so on? But we could finally propose a framework for building an enabling context in knowledge organizations. And we have 3 axes. So the first one is the knowledge process of the organization. So when we discuss the knowledge process, we are worried about 3 main things. We need to create knowledge, we need to share that knowledge, and we need to use that knowledge. But those knowledge processes, they happen in different levels of interaction in the organization. Are we talking about small groups, few people, the whole organization, or the network of organizations? So for example, a manager might be stuck with a problem. They do create knowledge, but sharing is not good. So his focus is on sharing. And then we ask him, what level of interaction are you talking about? Well, my problem is sharing in small groups that I have, for example, in R&D. So his third question is, what elements of each of the groups of enabling conditions do I need to make this enabling context work? So after researching the idea of Ba and its evolution, we wanted to propose a framework to help managers build this enabling context for Ba for knowledge creation. So this was the paper we presented at the ASIS conference a couple weeks ago. All right, that was a brief presentation. But this is Dixon's idea of KM evolution. I don't know if you follow her blog or not, but this first part here is exactly what happened in Brazil. From 1995 to 2000 something, we were worried about explicit knowledge. So our problem was to capture documents and information, and we were worried about specific and analytical content. Okay, after a while, then we had the idea of experiential knowledge. So we're discussing communities of practice, expertise locators, and so on. So for Dixon, KM is gaining in complexity. And the next level would be the idea of leveraging collective knowledge, mainly conversation facilitated by social media and social processes. So right now, we're just trying to see, well, is it happening in Brazil as well? So we have a great study right now on social media for business as a way to support knowledge processes. And we have very interesting results so far. We found an organization that had a neat community with a business model with 16,000 users paying to use that community. And the amazing thing, it's about rodeo from a television channel. So it's the first business model we actually saw that is really working. Okay, we all know the limitations of our research, right? Being quantitative or qualitative. And we always recommend that and ask people to test these results in different organizations of different sizes and industries. And right now, as I told you, we continue our research efforts in KM, social media for business, and also strategy implementation, which is very hard to find literature about. If you look at KM implementation or strategy implementation, it's very hard to find research or literature. And I'll put this presentation on SlideShare. If you want, I'll give you guys a copy. And yeah, that's it, I guess. This is my book. It's coming in English with Whiting and Sons probably next year. I was having a conversation. If it takes them longer, that knowledge will no longer be used, right? Because this book is 2008, so we reviewed that for 2009. It was supposed to be in the market by July. It's still not. So this is my email. I'll be happy to be in touch with you. And thanks for the opportunity to come and talk to you. And I think we have time for questions if you want to talk about that. Thank you.